I'm Cupid, and this is Need 1 Inch. I want to share an escapade with you all today, and I highly recommend an individual not try this escapade unless you are knowledgeable in psychology. On two occasions, I went to a mental health hospital inpatient to pick up women. I guess you could say they were girls. And so the first time this happened was in 2009. And I'm going to call this person Apple. And, I went through the psychobabble nonsense to get admitted to the hospital. And so when I'm there, I meet Apple, and her and we started playing Connect Four. And we played a few games, started chatting each other up, and at the time I was homeless, and I expressed it to her that I was really having some, difficult time and that type of stuff, and she was really receptive. She was a really a fantastic lady, in my opinion, and so what eventually happened, we started like playing around with each other, and then staff members saw us, and we just ignored them, more psychobabble nonsense. And then eventually, when I was discharged before Apple was. So there was another woman. I stayed with her until Apple was released from the inpatient mental health facility. And when she was finally released, we got to know each other a little bit better and kind of just, share our experiences, life experiences, and that type of stuff. And she was really a fantastic person. It's unfortunate that we had to part ways. However, the point of this particular escapade is that one of the best women I have ever been with met at a mental health hospital. Now that may sound strange or bizarre. Who wants to go to a mental health hospital? As I said, I would not recommend you try this unless you are familiar with psychology. You can find the strangest things in the most bizarre places. You would never think to look in a mental health hospital for a quality person. And the other experience I had was in 2013. I had myself admitted to another mental health facility. It was in a different city. And once again, I met another woman. It was under a different circumstance. I really wasn't familiar with the area because no doctors in the area where I live, they wouldn't admit me into a mental health facility here because they knew I wasn't really sick. So I had to go to another city, and they were willing to admit me into a mental health hospital because they didn't know me. That's why I had to go to another city. And so, it was, very nice mental health hospital, nothing fancy. And she was a woman of quality. I met each other, and not too much came of it. But the point that I'm trying to underscore here is that we can find some of the best things in the most bizarre places. And that we should never judge a book by its cover. That there are a lot of people that consider mental health or those who have been in mental health hospitals that they somehow suffer from type of incompetencies or somehow taboo or shunned upon. However, that's very typical of white American medicine, and that there are a group of people who practice mental wellness or mental perfection, and that's not the typical mental health practices that are taught here in America. They teach from a perspective of mental illness or what they call behavioral health. And that's why mental health hospitals are an excellent ground to meet people. For those of you that may want to try an escapade, try something different, get yourself admitted to a mental health hospital. Now, don't get me wrong now. You will not be able to own a firearm if you get admitted to a mental health hospital. I don't care about firearms. That's not a concern of mine. Just know if you do decide this particular escapade to get yourself admitted in a mental health hospital for the purposes of picking up a woman, you will not be able to have a firearm in most states if you're in America. And the audience, if anyone is interested in participating in this escapade, whether you're a male or a female, please let me know in the comments and share your experience with me. I would love to hear from you all. That just go to a mental health hospital, just get the experience. It's like a respite, and you have some fun, get relief, and it really is just a fantastic environment. You have to tolerate the psychobabble from they have to do paperwork, but we know why everyone's is at the mental health hospital for those of us that are healthy. And I would just love to hear from you all. So either post in the comments or you can email me directly. And the email address is need1inch. I'm sorry about, that's right. need1inch@gmail.com. Again, that is need1inch@gmail.com. And if you've already did this escapade where you have deliberately, voluntarily committed yourself to a mental health facility and you picked up a woman, or if you're a female and you picked up a guy, let me know. And perhaps you can come live on the show and we can get a dialogue started and see what other interesting people are out there. I'm Cupid, 5'11", need 1 inch.